I was picking up weed daily, getting as drunk as I could every single day, drinking as many bottles of wine as I could handle for the night without getting hungover. I would sleep in all day so I could stay up all night so I could be alone, locked away in my room. On the way to and from the store to pick up my substance for the day, for the night. I would cry. I was telling myself that this is the only way I can ever feel better. That I can't live without the drugs. When a want becomes a need, I believe that's when you have a problem. Hi, my name is Anthony. Men like myself achieve the freedom of sobriety that they've always wanted, so that they can live healthier and happier lives. I remember when I had no one to talk to. When I felt like reaching out to anyone was not only a chore, but almost a life-ending decision. Like it was the most embarrassing thing I could do. I've been in the shoes of a man who has no one to talk to. If you are someone who needs some support, some help, someone to talk to, I encourage you to click the top link in the description right now. Book a call with me, and we can see what kind of problems you're facing and how we can go about fixing it. Because a one-on-one may be working better than you doing it by yourself. So you can at least have someone to talk to. I highly recommend it. Let's get into the video. Satisfying that ceaseless itch was never the correct answer to getting what I wanted. And I was coping with the pain. The pain of not following my conscience, my calling, and my purpose. The pain of not becoming that better human being that I had so desired. The human being that I wanted to bring to life. I was keeping him shut in, and I was holding him tight in my chest. I wouldn't let him move. He was bound in shackles and dying and rotting inside my chest. Eating me alive, telling me I must get out. I have to get out. I have to be free. I want to be alive. And it fucked with me really bad. This regrettable routine of actions, this pattern of existence that I had created for myself, I had regretted and come to hate it so much. I went from only smoking at night after a day at work, to ripping a bong hit in the morning before my shift, to would you look at this now? I'm smoking on the job, I'm smoking every hour at home, I'm smoking any chance, every waking moment of my day. I was intoxicated. And this was a downward spiral of my life, slipping into depression, anxiety, and just wanting to escape my own head and my own thoughts. I couldn't see the man that I wanted to be. I couldn't see a path over the horizon to anywhere, any direction I could lead myself in. I felt like I was in a bottomless pit with no way out, falling and falling down. It felt like this was the only thing I could ever do. The thought of pursuing my purpose, my mission, it was so daunting and so terrifyingly overwhelming. And because of that, I didn't want to follow my conscious calling. So instead, I fell down a slippery slope. I was living in a place where I was either improving and growing or dying of nothing. Where I was either improving my life or it was just getting worse. There was no in between, and there was no stagnation in my life. Because nature doesn't sit still. You're either growing or you're dying. At the age of 20. I felt like I was already on my deathbed. This is what changed my life. I thought my dog was going to die. I thought I would never be able to see her again. And I thought that all this love I have for her, all this love I have for the rest of my life is going to go away. My only thread of hope, my only thread of love that was tied to any sort of life I had left was tied to this dog. And I felt hopeless because I couldn't stop hating my life and hating myself. But here this is, the love of my life, my animal, my puppy, my best friend, dying. And I don't even love myself. My life at that moment when she was at the vet felt tied to her. The only thing I have left in my life at this point is the love I feel for you, my animal. If she dies, fuck it, I'm gonna die. If she's getting better, I'm getting better with her. No matter what it takes, no matter what I have to do, I'll do it. And while she was at the vet for 4 days, I decided it was about time I turned my life around. And this is how I changed my life. I committed to 1 week sober. I thought if she's going to be there suffering at the vet, at the hospital, there's no way I'm going to be sitting here high and blasted off into space, or with my alcohol and with my addictions right beside me as she's suffering needlessly in the hospital, possibly about to die. For the first time in what had felt like years, I had committed myself to achieving sobriety, no matter the cost. I was not going back. If I go back, it meant I was just going to die. And to me, it also meant that my puppy was going to die. I had felt some sort of, this is my life. If she's gone, I don't know if I can go on. I need this hope right now. There's no way I couldn't commit myself. If she's strong enough to hold it through for 4 days, so am I. So I set the goal and the intention to stay sober every day for a week. And so I pushed through it. And I got to my 4 days, and I finally got to bring my puppy home, alive. And I was alive as well. And after that 4 days, I knew I wasn't going to go back. I am now the person who will face his sobriety and completely turn his life around. I was so sick of feeling helpless. Like I couldn't even do anything to help my own puppy. Like I couldn't even do anything to help myself, let alone help my puppy. So I committed to a week sober, and I got there. At that point, I knew I wasn't going back. And I committed to a month, and a month went by. And now 6 months have gone by. And as I hit a month, I knew that this is exactly how I wanted to live the rest of my life. I knew that this is how I wanted to live the rest of my life. With purpose, with dignity and integrity. Who keeps his word to himself, and who loves. It was really hard. It took lots of self-work to get here. And to especially get past those first days. In those first 4 days, I completely hunkered down while she was at the vet. There is no way I am walking to the store, going about my old actions. I set in place a new routine, new habits, new things that would make me so much more of a man. All I wanted to do for these 4 days was make sure I come out of it on top, as a new man. I did all these abnormal things that I wouldn't ever think of doing while I was under the influence. I woke up super early and I did a workout no matter how I felt, because it's what I'm doing now. I am this abnormal person that I do not currently know. I built myself a daily routine, and I incorporated all the things I knew would help because I had been researching, I had looked into educational videos, I'd hunkered down and committed to building a positive life for myself. I started to read, which I hadn't done in years. I read this book, A Man's Search for Meaning, and it was incredible. I did everything I possibly could to pave a new life for myself, keeping myself busy every second of the day. Where any doubt slipped in, I came in and I said, fuck no, and I paved the road forward. It wasn't until I had applied all my pain and taking action through the pain that I started to see the results that I wanted. At first, I hated waking up so early. It was so abnormal. I'd always waken up in the afternoon. Now I'm waking up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m. But I couldn't sit still. A new action was the only way I could possibly change my life. And I didn't even know if it was going to be possible. I didn't know if I was going to be able to change my life. I had doubted it constantly. But I knew that's exactly what I should be aiming towards. That uncertainty, that I don't know if I'll be able to come out of this on the other side. Because you know what? I know if I stay here, it will suck and I will die. Because I'm good as dead staying here. And the man that came out after all of that, he's proud of himself for going through the challenges, the hard work, the trials, the pain and suffering, the workout you had to push yourself through. He feels proud of you for doing that. And that's exactly what you should be aiming for. The man that comes out after the fact, after the pain, after the suffering, he will be proud. He will be proud you pushed yourself through that workout that you didn't want to do, that you couldn't have done before as the man you once were. And he did what you thought you couldn't do. All this helps you do the things that you never thought you could do, the things that you thought you couldn't ever do. This is how you get rid of your old self that you couldn't continue to be. I had to become a different me. Through taking immediate action, starting to read books I never thought I would read, pushing myself through those workouts, giving myself a pat on the back, listening to podcasts, and applying myself in places I never thought I could, like waking up early, taking a cold shower instead of a warm one, because fuck it, this is my new life. And this is what changed my life. And this is why I stopped smoking weed and my vices. And I'm glad I did so. Because man, it was worth it.